Advantages of laser cut SMT stencils. For SMT assembly, laser cut SMT stencils, surface mount technology or SMT is the procedure of mounting the electrical parts straight away onto the PCB surface. SMT has replaced the through-hole technology technique of aligning parts with cable heads into holes in the PCB. The essential part of the SMT procedure is the covering of solder glue on the PCB. First, it is managed by screen impressing the solder glue with the assistance of solder stencils. Then, the solder glue is equally applied with the utilization of a squeegee. Laser cut SMT stencils are laser cut solder glue image stencils. It is organized for hand-operated solder glue impressing applications. These stencils are frameless, and it expeditiously eliminates the tiresome hand bonding of PCBs. Utilizing image stencils, you will be able to create your image on PCBs using your Gerber or CAD data file. 5 amazing properties of laser cut SMT stencils. Laser cut SMT stencils are created by utilizing the CAD data file that you provide. You can give a Gerber file for this as well. These data files are a two-dimensional graphic representation of every layer of a PC board where pads, vias, and tracks are presented with the assistance of different lines and figures. It depicts the electrical circuit board pictures, letting in the copper layers, legend, solder mask, drill information, and many more. These data files, either CAD or Gerber files, assists in producing the SMT image stencils for constructing a PCB board. Laser cut SMT stencils typically bear a frame. Besides, it comprised of a sheet of stainless steel, in which the apertures are adequately organized. Utilizing it, they can squeegee the solder paste onto the PCB. Hence, it keeps the application of solder paste on amateur surfaces. The laser cut SMT stencil generally is used on an full auto or semi-auto screen printer using a squeegee blade. These blades traverse over the foil to deliver the potential paste volumes on the printed circuit board surface. The laser cut SMT stencils are usually stainless steel. It is utilized to assist the PCB operator in depositing glue or paste onto the PCB surface. Steel stencils are more long-lasting and accurate than polyamide stencils. Often, other materials like mylar and nickel are used as well. Richly nickel substance stainless derivative has little grain, backing up better release attributes as the aperture surrounds are smoother. Precise release of solder paste through the aperture is essential. Additional solder paste deposition can make solder bridging. Lower solder deposition can make fragile solder joints that can involve the operation of the PCB. Laser cut SMT stencils are laser cut solder stencils. The laser cut constructing technique improves the aperture definition and best dimensional leeways for more effective pitch apertures on the stencils. Hence, you will be able to have the best quality print with most minor faults. Laser cut SMT stencils keep a precise and quotable solder deposition procedure. To utilize the laser cut SMT stencils, set the PC board into the circuit board holder. Adjust the image stencil over the PCB SMT pads. Set the solder paste on the image stencil and disperse it through the whole width of the whole squeegee. Apply a squeegee to roll the solder paste over the image stencil, coercing the solder paste through the image stencil on the PCB board surface. Advantages of laser cut SMT stencils. There are numerous advantages of laser cut SMT stencils. Like, laser cut SMT stencils eradicates the mistakes that are expected to fall out in the hand soldering of image electrical circuit boards. The perfect laser cut apertures enable fluent aperture sidewalls, hence bettering paste transfer. In addition, they are permitting post-processes of electropolish and nickel metal plating to create the aperture walls articulate. As laser cut SMT stencils are usually frameless, it reduces space requirements. Furthermore, it is significantly cheaper than framed image stencils. These laser cut SMT stencils are not glued in a frame, allowing optimal solder paste volume control. Laser cut SMT stencils can present fantabulous print performance and better the quality of your image printed circuit boards. Laser cut SMT stencils are specifically organized to avoid the odds of whatsoever fault while using the solder paste on the PCB board. It also easy cleanup of the solder paste from the surface of the electrical board for quotable and precise solder paste deposition. Laser cut SMT stencils allow quick assembly with minimum cost. It brings down the PCB image assembly time. It is low-priced, concise, easy to handle, and easy to dispose of or recycle. Laser cut SMT stencils have a 24-hour turnaround standard. Laser cut SMT stencils have smooth inward pad walls, with geometrical fence changes of fewer than 3 mm for best glue release features. These stencils have aperture consistency for a decrease in expected defects. These stencils have high pad positional conciseness for utmost good pitch accuracy in impressing. Tolerances of about 5 are possible with modern lasers. Contrary to chemically engraved stencils, these stencils to printed circuit board registration boast an exemplary circuit board to stencil registration. These stencils have hyper-delicate pitch designs less than 250 mm can be recognized without problems, letting you impress today's challenging and outstanding pitch devices. This stencil's high accuracy of land visibility sound reflection in the stencil permits you to make an easy and authentic stencil position on PCB. These stencil fabricating is performed straight away from CAD/CAM data files, eradicating problems with photo tool projecting and fictionalization quality and the caliber of surface planning and photoresist application to the queer, as it is the same case with chemical engraving technique of stencil manufacturing. These stencils bear chromium steel. Serving as ground material for these stencils has a high potential rate. Hence, the stencil does not alter in size, and the aperture design is not disingenuous even after 10,000 impressing cycles, that making the chromium steel stencil very authentic in usage. Its smooth walls and pointed aperture profile. It was step up the possibility of solder glue to pass over stencil apertures during every print cycle. The laser cut SMT stencils are easy to assemble and utilize. These stencils create high volume. Chromium steel stencils are handy as they have a long span of life, allowing multiple utilizations for solder glue applications. These same stencils permit you for on-contact and off-contact impressing on PCBs. These laser-cut SMT stencils are efficient when utilized for multi-level impressing of PCBs. How to check the size of the stencil? The laser-cut SMT stencil size is compiled into two parts, inward size and general size. Inward size is the size well matched, and that of PC board set up to be collective, although overall size concerns the size well matched with printer parametric quantity limit. As far as both sizings are precisely designed, the stencil will draw total usage of its functions. Inward size of laser cut SMT stencil can be worked out adjusting to the following rule: width of frameless stencil equals width of PCB plus 200 mm, while its length equals length of PCB plus 200 mm. Width of framed stencil equals width of PCB plus 100 mm, while its length equals length of PCB plus 100 mm. For instance, if one electric circuit board measure in size is 50 mm, then the sizing of its bordered stencil should be about 150 mm, and the sizing of its frameless stencil had better be about 250 mm. It is comfy to remember and function, so it worked out for hand-operated solder glue printing in laser-cut SMT stencils assembly before the coming of automatic printing machine. It can tell that different PCB sizings lead to propagations of different inward sizes of laser-cut SMT stencils. It derives from an automatic solder glue printing machine, all the same, relatively strong. The general size of these laser-cut SMT stencil has to be ascertained by the parametric quantity limit of the printing equipment, that is, the printing machine, because stencil has to do work within the scope of printing machine with a frame. Diverse printing machines feature different parametric quantity rules. According to the conducted research, the stencil size congenial with our printing machine can be 650 mm or 736 mm. PC board designers have to focus on the internal size of the stencil. They don't need to care about its overall size, since it is generally determined by the parameters of the printer in your contract assembler workshop. Final words: the laser-cut SMT stencils had better enable you to resolve your printing troubles to alleviate the PCB fabrication and assembly process. These stencils are well suited for image fabrication, and the flapping helps keep the glue in an enclosed area during the impressing process. Furthermore, these stencils' better accuracy saves time, and of course, step UPS yield. These laser-cut SMT stencils are close-packed and easy to deal with. As an outcome, it has acquired popularity in offering faster and cost-efficient PCB prototyping. These laser-cut SMT stencils that are decently designed enable highly effective PCBs that are uniform and quotable. This not just assists in saving up costs in the end, but it will also permit a higher quality ultimate product. The team of highly competent technicians designs all the laser-cut SMT stencils with superior precision to assure you get the complete products that meet your requirements. At PNC, you will get your design SMT stencils requirements fulfilled at an affordable rate.